Good afternoon and welcome. It's a pleasure to welcome you this afternoon to this graduation ceremony for York St John University on behalf of the chapter of York. York Minster has been associated with learning for many centuries, and it's enjoyed a particularly close relationship with York St John now for almost 180 years. Today we offer all the graduands and the honorands our congratulations on their success and God's blessing on all that lies ahead of them. Before the ceremony gets underway, there are just a few domestic notices. The first is an obvious one. If you have a mobile phone with you, could you please make sure that it is switched off throughout the ceremony? The second is that should we have to evacuate the Minster, the procedure is that a notice will be given from here, and then you are to follow the directions of the stewards to the nearest available safe exit. And if you're sitting in the centre part of the nave, that's immediately in front of me, you'll have noticed that there was a kneeler with your seat. It's a huge help to our Minster stewards if at the end of the ceremony you could put those kneelers back on the seat to help us return the building to its normal configuration. And a note about the end of the ceremony. After the ceremony has finished, the procession will go off in one direction. If you are a guest here this afternoon, please don't fall into the temptation to follow that procession, but you need to turn back on yourselves and go out of the building from the doors through which you came in at the west end. There will be two doors, one at either side down there. So the procession of graduates will leave by the south door behind me and everybody else by the west doors at the back of the building. So all remains for me to say is once again, congratulations to all who are receiving degrees and welcome to you all. Thank you.
the authority of the Privy Council granted to York St. John University, I declare this ceremony open for the conferment of degrees and presentation of awards. Will you please sit? Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, Baroness Hale of Richmond, President of the Supreme Court, the most senior judge in our nation, and Alan Layton, honored guests, friends and family, and of course, our graduates. It is with great joy that I welcome you all today to York Minster to take part in this celebration of achievement. As Chancellor of York St. John University, not only am I delighted to preside over this very happy occasion, I'm also privileged to be able to share in your success and to be associated with you. Too often in life, we don't give ourselves enough credit. But today is a day to say yes, yes, I did it. A day for big smiles and a full heart, as well as relief that the hard work is now over. And although this is a formal ceremony, I can assure you that I try to encourage informality within these hallowed walls wherever possible. So, graduates, remember, please remember to relax and to enjoy the experience. And make sure that you pose for your photograph here on the platform. This is a moment that you and your family will want to treasure. And should you be tempted to become a runner, like a Yorkshire Terrier, I'll hold on to your hand in order to get a firmer grip and ensure that your photograph is taken. Now, as you come up the ramp, the photographer is by a pillar in front of you, slightly to your left, and you can see a white umbrella. That's where the photographer is, and that's where you need to look. And I won't let go unless I'm sure that the photograph has been taken. So if you want this ceremony to run smoothly and quickly and fast, do just what I've just said. In this place, I see and experience a variety of emotions. But today, I see and sense a room glowing with pride. Pride amongst family members and friends who join our public acknowledgement of our graduates' efforts and achievements. Pride among the staff of York St. John from this day is a culmination of many, many long hours of dedication and support. And pride, of course, among us, our graduates. You have been on a very, very long journey. So we come here today as a community, bound together by our common commitment to success for those whose efforts we are celebrating. And I would personally like to thank everyone who has played a part in our graduates' achievements, and the fruits of your labors are before us today. Your impact is beyond measure. None of us can know fully what the future holds. But as the world changes constantly, education is as important as ever in bringing the best out of us. For Latin, educere, bringing the best out of us, as well as equipping us, educare, with the skills for serving the common good, serving with empathy, understanding, creativity, reflection, and mutual respect. These are qualities that I know are as important to York St. John as the subjects you've been studying. They have been part of this university's ethos through its 177-year-old history. So I want to encourage you to take these qualities of empathy, of understanding, of creativity, of reflection, of mutual respect out into the world with you. Make them central to your growth as individuals and as your contribution to the community, society, and the world. But of course, education brings with it responsibility as well as inspiration to make a positive contribution. As students of York St. John, you have been encouraged to take part in a range of work experience and volunteering opportunities. And a great many of you have taken advantage of such opportunities and have been greatly impressed by your commitment to local initiatives. Such work can be important for your personal development as well as contributing to society as a whole. So I hope that many of you will continue this engagement with your local communities when you leave this place, through your family, through your work, through your other interests and pursuits. Graduates, please take seriously this advice from the late Steve Jobs, the real brain behind the iPhone and the iPad. He said, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other people's opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Follow your heart and your intuition. They know already what you want to become. Your university career prepared you well for those challenges. Studying with us not only developed you academically and practically, it also prepared you for the real world. Your degree taught you how to learn, how to think critically, how to apply your learning, and how to adapt to change. So you are now armed with one of the most important tools needed to forge a path ahead. It isn't the degree itself that counts, it's what you've learned along the way and what you do with it that will be important. So our beloved graduates, as you look forward to what comes next, I hope that you'll always find time to reflect back on your experiences at York St. John. Think of the lasting friendships you've made and the special sense of community across the campus. Remember you'll always be part of our community, no matter what life has in store for you. So today is a day of great celebration, and I'm sure that all of you, graduates, your family, family members, your friends, your staff, will make the most of this joyous and memorable occasion. So congratulations, and I wish you well in all your future endeavors, and may God richly bless you. Will the parents, friends, and lecturers of York St. John University please stand? Will you please join me in giving a humdinger clap of congratulations to all our graduates? Thank you. Will you please sit? Now then, will all our graduates please stand? Will you please join me in giving a humdinger clap of thanks to all those who supported you, your parents, your friends, and your tutors. Now, that's not good enough for me. When I was your age and I was asked to thank my parents, my tutors, my teachers, my friends who helped me in my study, I didn't just clap, I also made a lot of noise. So we're going to do it again. Will you please thank your parents, your tutors, your friends, and all those who supported you. One more time, please. Thank you very much. That's more like it. And I think that side is the one that won. You lost. I call upon the academic registrar to announce the award of degrees, and you please sit. Thank you very much.
Chancellor, for the York Business School, for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy by Research, awarded by the University of Leeds, to be presented by the Dean of York Business School, Dr. Bob Gammy.
Chancellor, the degree of Doctor of Philosophy is awarded following a significant period of research, resulting in a thesis which makes an original contribution to knowledge that extends the boundaries of the academic discipline. Chancellor, I present to you for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy by Research for a thesis entitled Leadership Development Through Executive Coaching and Interpretive Phenomenological Analysis, Duminda Roshan Raja Singh. And in Leading Innovation and Change, delivered in association with Robert Kennedy College, and for the Postgraduate Leading Innovation and Change Dissertation Prize, Nigel Adair. Chris Bateman. Tim Brugard. Sasha Zhisblowski. Marina Esprit Maduro. And for the Postgraduate Leading Innovation and Change Dissertation Prize, Rula Habash. Mark Johns. Reinhard Landman. Nicole Lehman. Juan Carlos Lopez. Mufta Ramat Mahmood. Anne Mariani. Johannes Martensen. Leah McStravick. Mishik Nlove. Naomi Adole Osei Asamani. Amir Osman. Joseph Opemiemi Owolabi. And for the Postgraduate Leading Innovation and Change Programme Prize, Christina Rettig. Siangita Wisdom. Juliana Shoko.
For the degree of
Choir moves in with all the graduates. Graduates, please put on your motorboards. All of you put on your motorboards, please. And when you've done that, would you please, if you are able, to stand. And if you are ready, put it on and then stand, please. As the authority invested in me, I confer upon you your degrees and awards for which you've been presented. Congratulations. Graduates, please sit. Thank you very much.
I call upon the Chancellor to confer an honorary degree of the University on Lady Hale, to be presented by the Deputy Dean of the York Business School, Professor Julie McColl.
On behalf of York St John University, I am delighted and honoured to welcome the Right Honourable the Baroness Hale of Richmond to this graduation ceremony. Lady Hale is the President of the Supreme Court. She is the UK's most senior judge and is the first woman to hold this position, which she assumed in October 2017. Her appointment is the pinnacle of an extraordinary legal career which has indeed seen many firsts. It has also been more varied than that of most judges. She was previously an academic and legal reformer on the Law Commission. Throughout, she has been a consistent champion of judicial diversity. On appointment to the House of Lords in 2004, she created a coat of arms bearing the motto Omnia Femini Quissimi, meaning women are equal to everything. Lady Hale grew up in Richmond, North Yorkshire, and was educated at Richmond High School for Girls. She studied law at Girton College, Cambridge, and was called to the bar by Gray's Inn in 1969. She then chose the path less travelled by those heading to the judiciary, academia, teaching law at Manchester University, where she became a professor and qualified as a barrister. She was appointed to the Law Commission, another first for a woman, in 1984. There, she led the work of the family law team, resulting, among others, in the Children Act of 1989 and the Mental Capacity Act of 2005. She was also a founder member of the Human Fertilisation and Embryology Authority. In 1994, Lady Hale was promoted to become a High Court judge in the Family Division. Here, she provided a different perspective, as she had not spent her career at the bar and had studied family law as an academic discipline. 5 years later, she was second woman to be promoted to the Court of Appeal, before becoming the first female law lord. Following her appointment as the President of the Supreme Court, she told one interviewer, "It doesn't feel so weird to be the first woman. Women my generation could often be first because there hadn't been any before." She is a tireless advocate of women as well as other underrepresented groups in the judiciary and among lawyers. She is clear she does not just want to see more women becoming judges, but also Northerners, the state-educated and Black, Asian and minority ethnic individuals, saying it matters that the judiciary looks familiar to everybody so that people can think, this is our judiciary, they are part of us rather than some group from another planet. As we celebrate the achievement of our own graduates here today, it is inspiring to acknowledge that they have such a distinguished role model standing before them. I am sure that they have the potential to become firsts in their own future endeavours. On behalf of York St John University, I am delighted to recognise Lady Hale's enormous success and expertise in the field of law by the award of an honorary degree. Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the degree of Doctor of Laws, Honoris Causa, Right Honourable the Baroness Hale of Richmond.
Lady Hale, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Laws, Honoris Causa. Congratulations.
Your Grace and Chancellor, I've never said that before, Vice-Chancellor, members of the University, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, this is a great day, isn't it? Yes. And I bet some of you never thought you'd get here. Yeah. Well, it's a great day for me too. And I certainly never thought, as a little girl, growing up in a small town in North Yorkshire, that I would ever have the honour of being given an honorary degree by this university in this amazing building, and coming into the sound of my most favourite piece of music, Paris Anthem, I Was Glad, makes me cry every time I hear it. So if I've got tears in my eyes, that's why. So thank you very much. You must all have heard the old saying that behind every successful man, there stands a surprised woman. Actually, sometimes two. Well, in the case of a successful woman, the surprised woman is right inside her. I was surprised when I passed the 11 plus and went to Richmond High School for Girls. The real Richmond, the one down the road, not the one down there in the south. I was surprised when I was accepted by Girton College, Cambridge, to read law. I was astonished when I got a good enough degree to go on to a career in university teaching. It was a very different world when I went to university. It was only 45 years since women got the right to vote. It was only 44 years since women got the right to enter the legal profession and eventually to become judges. It was only 15 years after my university, Cambridge, allowed women to take degrees. Before that, imagine it, the women who passed the exams, knew that they had passed the exams, had to call themselves BA, open brackets, tit, close brackets. Now the tit stood for titular, but can you imagine all those elderly dons salivating over the fact that these women had to go on calling themselves BA tit? Anyway, it was, as I say, only 15 years earlier. It was only 1 year since the first woman had been appointed a full-time judge in the ordinary courts. So the height of my ambition when I went up to Cambridge had been to become the first woman article clerk in our local firm of solicitors in Richmond. There were only 6 women reading law in my year, but university raised my sights, as I hope it's raised all of yours. If the men could do these things, why couldn't we? These were the heady days of the 1960s, when women were just beginning to realise that getting the vote was not enough. We had to get out there and fight for equality. Join the professions, of course, but also hope to have a family as well, just as the men could do. But at your stage, it never crossed my mind that I might become any sort of judge. So I was flabbergasted, not just surprised, flabbergasted when it happened. And I still don't quite know how it happened. But it arose out of academic entrepreneurship. I wrote a book on mental health law, which led to my first judicial appointment to the Mental Health Review Tribunal. I edited a learned journal, which led to my appointment to AQUANGO, the Council on Tribunals, which supervised all the multitude of administrative tribunals we then had. I wrote a big book on family law, which led to my appointment as a law commissioner to reform the law. And in time, these things led to the High Court bench, and upwards from then. Things have changed a very great deal in the legal profession and the judiciary, and in the business world too, over the course of my professional life. Last year, for example, we doubled the number of women in the Supreme Court, from 1 to 2. But they're both Yorkshire women, and now we have a third, so we make up a quarter of the highest courts of the country. Not enough, but a lot better than it was until very recently. Now, the moral of my story is that in a rapidly changing world, we must expect the unexpected. Anything may happen. We must be flexible and determined. We must be ready to grasp the opportunities which come our way. And the great thing about a university education, which you have completed at least one stage of today, it gives us the tools to do it. It gives us the habits of curiosity, of thinking for ourselves, of fair-minded evaluation of the evidence, of respect for the truth. That's the most important thing of all. Of making ourselves work hard when we need to do so. But it gives us much more than that. It gives us the opportunity of meeting interesting people from many different places, races and cultures. The values of understanding, of tolerance for other people's points of view, of respect for the diversity of humanity. And I hope you've all had a lot of fun too. Good. So I am very proud to be graduating along with all of you from a university so local to my home and in this magnificent building. Thank you again for the honour that you have done me. But above all, congratulations, my fellow graduates. Unlike me, you have had to work for the degrees that you have just received. Thank you.
I call upon the Chancellor to confer an honorary degree of the University on Alan Layton, to be presented by University Governor John Hammond Booth.
On behalf of York St John University, I am delighted and honoured to welcome Alan Layton to this graduation ceremony. We're pleased that Alan accepted our invitation and joined us at the university earlier this year to officially open the York Business School. As one of the country's most dynamic leaders, he was the perfect match to launch our new approach to business education. He told our students to challenge traditional business methods and always seek progress and innovation. Throughout his career, Alan has led by example. Archie Norman, businessman and politician, has said about Alan, he does have this boundless driving energy and his emotional force comes through. And that means people will rely on him. There is no side to him. He's absolutely straightforward and can be very, very direct. This directness, teamed with great ambition, has seen Alan become a top business executive over a 40-year career. He is known as the man who sold Asda to the US retail giant Walmart for £6.7 billion. He brought Royal Mail back from the brink of disaster, and he is now leading the cooperative group as the Society's first independent non-executive chair. He is also the chair of trustees of the Canal and River Trust and of Entertainment One Limited, Wagamama and Element Materials Technology. What is his guiding principle? He explains, in leadership, the most important decisions you make are to get the right people. If they're right, everything else falls into place. He was first able to put his ideas into practice with confectionery giant Mars. Here, he led the benefit of talking to his employees and customers, winning hearts and minds, he calls it. He believes in peeling back layers of management to reach the basics. What does the company actually do? How can it be done better? Alan has long championed the power of business to benefit local communities. The cooperative group has a clear purpose of promoting a better way of doing business. Alan has been aware of this ethos from an early age, as his father ran the local co-op. He also has a strong sense of the need to give something back personally. He's a patron of breast cancer care and has pledged to raise £1 million for this cause. He also chaired Race for Opportunity, a campaign to promote racial diversity within business. At this university, we're building on a tradition of distinction in academic, professional, and social engagement in order to produce responsible and innovative decision makers. With the example of outstanding role models such as Alan, our graduates will go on to make a meaningful contribution in all spheres of society. On behalf of York University, I'm delighted to recognise Alan Leighton's success in the field of business leadership by the award of an honorary degree. Chancellor, I present to you for the award of the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa, Alan Leighton.
Alan Leighton, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of Letters, honoris causa. Congratulations.
Chancellor, Your Grace, everyone, thank you so much for that. It's a great honour. I phoned my daughter, who lives in Boston Spa, who's not very far from here, on the way up, and said, you know, I was off to get a degree at York. And she said to me, Dad, always remember that you're the last one up, and by the time you get there, everybody will just want to go home or go and have a drink, which I thought was a great piece of motivation from your daughter on the way up on the train. It's very important to me is that people talk, you know, I've been in business for, I don't know, 40 years probably, but I've actually not been in business. I've been in the business of people, and there is a very big difference. And in my world, unless you're in the business of people, you're just not in business. And if you look at anybody and any company that's successful, that is its focus. In my early years at Mars, the Mars brothers said to me, remember, Alan, there's only two things that are important, people and product. And if you just fixate on people and product for the rest of your life, you'll be fine. They also said to me 40 years ago, and it's interesting, listen to the Baroness talking about diversity and everything. 40 years ago, they said to me, in the end, Alan, your job is just to get more brains than everybody else. It's not a world of head count, it's a world of brain count. And remember that 50% of the brains in the world are female, and brains have no colour. And it'll take people a long time to work out that 50% of the brains in the world are female, and brains have no colour, at which stage we'll have more brains than anybody else, and that's why we will win. And in a, I was going to say a week, in a, what has been more than a week, seems to have been years of, you know, Brexit, now backstop, lots of backstabbing. I often think that people really understand that everything is all about people, and ordinary people. And what do ordinary people and people want? Well, first of all, they want people to listen to them. And they want people to listen to hear, not to respond. They want people who show them respect, don't believe that what you have to do is go around trying to earn it in some way, shape or form. It's respect is something you give every day. It isn't something that you earn. And what people want is to be talked with, not at. And if you talk with people, and if you show people respect every day, and if you listen to hear as opposed to get your point across, then you create a different relationship. And that different relationship, in the end, has a very big impact on how successful you are. And when I hear this thing about leadership, and leadership's an important thing, but the important thing about leadership is not how you lead. It's how many people you get to follow you. The real important thing is not leadership, it's called fellowship. And you create fellowship by talking with people, by listening to hear, not to respond, and to give people respect every day. And my one message to you, as you go out into your business career, never forget that. It's so easy, because there's so many things happening, but never forget, in the end, it's all about people. I've been going for 40 years, as I say, but in the last 18 months, I've learned more, I think, than I've learned in the last 18 years. And that's because I've spent a lot of time with startups and new businesses and new business people and young business people and entrepreneurs. And there are three sort of things that I've learned along the way, which I think you may just want to think about as you start out in your careers. The first thing is the best innovation solved the problems that people did not know existed. And if you look at all the big disruptors in our business world today, that's what they did. They found something that people didn't even know they needed. The second thing is, there's a lot of talk about productivity all the time, and for years, everybody's tried this, and that is by trying to try and make things better. The young entrepreneurs, the young startups, they're creating better things. They're looking at it in a completely different way. And the third thing is, it used to be about scale. Everything was about scale. Actually, now that scale is about intellectual scale. It's not about capital scale. And one of the young entrepreneurs who created a great business said to me, we always remember, Alan, that you can't outspend everyone, but you can outthink anyone. So as you go away, just think about what problems that do not exist can you find an innovation for. Think about what are the better things that we could do or you could create rather than make things better. And finally, always remember, you can outthink anyone. So good luck, and thank you very much.
I call upon Olivia Bowers on behalf of today's graduates to propose a vote of thanks.
Chancellor, it is my honour to give this vote of thanks on behalf of graduating students here today, and I would like to express our gratitude to everyone who has played a part in enabling us to reach this incredible milestone. The support of families and friends who have been on this journey with us has been invaluable, and your encouragement is hugely appreciated. We thank those of you who have organised this graduation ceremony and appreciate every member of academic, technical, administrative or service staff who have helped motivate and inspire us during our time at York St John University. The friendships we've made have given us memories to treasure for life and shared experiences that will shape who we are now and forever as we continue on our journey as graduates. We take with us the York St John values of community, creativity and confidence in the future as the next chapter of our lives begin. Whatever our circumstances, wherever we are in our lives, you have all helped us achieve an education for life, and we look forward to the future with enthusiasm, anticipation and excitement. Thank you.
I call upon the Vice-Chancellor to address the congregation.
Chancellor, Pro-Chancellor, honorary graduates, guests, friends and family, and of course, graduates. Give yourself one more final round of applause. Graduates. Graduates, I hope you feel as wonderful as that word sounds. It represents so much. Success, triumph, achievement, a joyous reward for all the hard work that has gone into the last few years. It also brings to an end one important chapter in your life story, but more importantly, prepares you for the next exciting instalment. Your academic qualifications are your passport to a world of exciting opportunity. But that's for tomorrow. Today is your day to celebrate and enjoy. And I'm sure this remarkable graduation ceremony in the magnificent and spectacular surroundings of York Minster will not be the only celebration of your success today, but it will be the most memorable, filled with the pride and emotion of a special day in such an extra special place. This is not only one of the greatest cathedrals in Britain, but one of the best loved in the world. The current building is nearly 800 years old, but the Minster's history stretches back more than a millennium. Hallowed ground indeed, on which to take the first steps in the professional life journey that awaits you outside. During our graduation ceremony, everything has gone very smoothly. None of you tripped on the stage, or fell down the ramp, or fainted with the excitement of the occasion. Planning for graduation takes almost a year, and it's a huge endeavour. The team behind today, from the Minster and York St John, have given their best, and they should be congratulated for the impressive way they have handled the event. Let's show our appreciation. The Chancellor started our ceremony earlier by talking about the sense of pride we all feel today. I want to re-emphasise that. I feel incredibly proud and privileged to be with you as Vice-Chancellor of York St John University. You have all been on your own personal journey from when you first walked through our doors until today. You have no doubt overcome intellectual challenges and personal ones to ultimately succeed. And you have travelled the journey together to collectively become York St John University's class of 2018. In that time, you have shown an incredible capacity to learn, to grow, and to change. You have made your possibilities into realities. Whilst you have been growing and changing individually, the world has been changing around you too. Right now, the future feels uncertain. We simply cannot predict what turns the world will take next politically. We continue rapidly re-engineering and renegotiating our relationship with technology. The need to create a more sustainable world has reached a point of urgency, and deeply embedded attitudes and behaviours, reinforced by long-standing inequalities, are being called out and exposed as people express their desire for social change. All of this makes it hard to predict the world to come. But amidst all that uncertainty, being here with you today, I feel hopeful. Hopeful and optimistic, because you are the future. You have shown in so many ways throughout your time with us that you want to make a positive change in the world. I hope we have shown you that you possess the qualities to do that. The attitudes and actions you take as you step out from here will shape not only your own lives, but the lives of those around you. So, do the right things. You are talented, creative, inspiring. It is to you, the next generation, to whom we look to help us succeed. I will conclude with two quotes. The first from the historian James Trhough Adams, who said, "There are two types of education, one that should teach us how to make a living, and the other how to live." I hope that your time at York St John has benefited you in both ways. The second quote is from the diary of Anne Frank, who said, "How wonderful it is that nobody need wait a single moment before starting to improve the world." I couldn't have put it better. Don't wait a single moment. Go forth knowing how proud of you we are, how much you have given to York St John University, and how much more you can give to the world. As one of the university's most famous honorary graduates, the Most Reverend Desmond Tutu said, "There is no passion to be found in playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living." Graduates, we look forward to seeing you seize the day, carpe diem, and we won't forget you, for you are our bright future. And as you leave us today, you go with our warmest congratulations and very best wishes for the exciting times that lie ahead. Thank you.
I declare this ceremony closed.